TOEFL, IBT, Speaking 26. Aaron at speaking26.com.
I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East.
Speaking 26 for FPGEE 2025. Question 1. State whether you agree or disagree with the following statement from President Trump. Then explain why by progressing your ideas in a way that deserves an advanced score. I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. 15 seconds to prepare. Begin preparing now. Time. 45 seconds to speak. Begin speaking now. Time. Challenge for those of you who are already fully committed to passing this year, 2025. Those of you that are going to pass in 2026, get out of here for now. Okay, those of you who are going to pass in 2025, you're already ready for this. What's the opposite? You gave your honest opinion. Good. Now, what's the opposite? What's the strongest argument, 45-second answer argument against you? You have 15 seconds to prepare. Begin preparing now. Time. 45 seconds to speak. Begin speaking now. Time. I gave my answer to a question number 1 that's about trying new things versus avoiding danger. And as I was saying that it's better to try new things, one of the things I said is my favorite food that I would choose today comes as a result of me in the past being willing to try that food the first time it was exposed to me. The person that I was working with thought that my example was simple. Simple was the way she used to describe it. You guys, well, those of you who are benefiting as you should be from the interviews from other pharmacists might have seen how pharmacist Hannah said one way that I helped her to pass was by giving her a different perspective as to what so-called simple language is. ETS gave me 30 out of 30 on my first try. They don't think my language is simple. The people that wasted years and thousands of dollars not passing before me, most likely going to tutors from their one country. I think there's over 180 sovereign countries, one out of 180. The people that I helped pass don't think that my language is simple, but some of you are reluctant to take my advice of saying art instead of artistic, bike instead of bicycle, dorm instead of dormitory. Some of you are reluctant to take my advice, like talking about your favorite food and applying that to being something that at one point in your past, you had to try it for the first time. You had to try a new thing, as that TOEFL speaking question number 1 says, trying new things versus being cautious and avoiding danger. So in working with this person, here's the advice that I can give you guys. Some of you think, and some of you, it's not your fault. You've had teachers, tutors who haven't shown as many verifiable humans passing as I have, tell you to always go for your most grandiose example, to always go for your biggest vocabulary word. In speaking, you don't have time for that. I'm not sure if it's right or wrong to do in the writing section, but I am sure that in the speaking section for 26, it's wrong. You don't have time for all of these unnecessarily fancy examples that cause you to trip over yourself. So I know why you guys, it's incorrect for you to describe it as simple, but because of your misconception of what advanced is, you incorrectly describe it as simple. But I wonder who's right and wrong, who's right and who's wrong, ETS or you. Here's a way to think about it that helps you to pass faster. I'm not going for simple or not simple. I'm going for most effective, most effective, most convincing. What does the hearer, the listener, hear and immediately recognize as truth that develops my topic, that progresses my idea? Hey, Aaron, is it better? Which behavior is better, Aaron, to try new things or to be cautious? Because sometimes when we try new things, bad things happen. Well, my favorite food today, it only became my favorite, most enjoyable food because one day before in my past, I was willing to try the new thing, try the new food. And now it's my favorite meal that makes me the happiest. The example of favorite food, you might describe that as simple because in your past, you had a misconception of what an example is. If you are not practicing in the right ways, it doesn't matter how much you practice, you will never be going in the right way. Do you like it difficult? The real test asks not. Are you up to task? You're welcome for making the real test in the test center easier for you. Several of my best friends know the secrets of this test.
Disclaimer. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and is presented at the individual's own risk. It is not intended to defame any entity or individual. Aaron and his guests make no representations or warranties of any kind, either express or implied, regarding the completeness or suitability of the information. The views expressed by Aaron and his guests are not affiliated with, approved by, or endorsed by any entity or organization, including, but not limited to, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, the Test of English as a Foreign Language, TOEFL, and Educational Testing Service, ETS.
I have showed the most amount of people passing, getting 26 on TOEFL speaking than anybody else has. And when I say show, I mean real people like you can see and hear Michelle here, not just a post that may be real or not, but a person that you can see and hear. The speaking templates are wrong. Because to get 26 on speak, and when you see somebody who did get 26 on speaking or above, and they tell you they used the speaking template, they did not get 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking because of the speaking template. No, they got 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking in spite of the limiting nature of the speaking template. They got 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking because their speaking fluency was so good, is so good, that it was able to overcome the limiting structure that is speaking templates.
I never got 26 using AI website.
Okay, but you did on the real test after meetings with me.
Yeah.
If you want to see more videos with people giving you their best advice on how they got their 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking, you can watch that YouTube playlist. It's connected to this video, and you can find it by searching for TOEFL IBT Speaking 26. You can also find it by going through speaking26.com. These are people who before were not getting 26 on TOEFL speaking, and after did get 26 and pass their tests. I asked them, hey, can you give your best advice to people who are still taking the test? How did you go from not passing to passing?
When I read about the TOEFL exam, I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, okay, straightforward thing. It's an English exam. How difficult can it be?
The pharmacy board needs specifically 26 in speaking.
I used to change the template. Maybe this is more advanced, so I will use this the next exam, and I try to practice this for maybe a month or two to be able to master it, to say it without thinking. Every time I found myself getting maybe less score or the same score. It doesn't make any difference to just change the templates and use different introductory words. It didn't make any difference for me. Some of my friends advised me to start taking sessions with you.
This helped me in passing my TOEFL exam. Aaron helped me to pass and get 26.
Aaron, actually, any words will not be enough. But really, I'm very thankful.
26 in speaking, and I finally got it, and I'm so excited to get to the next step and my pharmacist license.
Look at my accent, look at people who got 26. So just surround yourself with people who motivate you.
Look, I passed. That bit that's missing is probably the most important bit to get you to 26.
Yes.
And that's the bit where Aaron, I felt, helped me realize where I was going wrong. And that bit where I was going wrong, I think it goes for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you speak English is your first language or not. That bit that was missing is something everyone really needs to understand in order to get that 26.
Once you are in the level that you need to become advanced in order to get the 26, you need to get rid of the templates.
Template will hinder your ability to deliver the question, because it shows that you are reading something or you are not speaking, you are reading.
I was using completely different template or different way. I started to apply your way, and once I started to practice your way, it's easy for me.
That was really good for me. It really helped me because with this in my mind, I could speak faster, and because I was confident.
It's challenging, but after you pass it, the feeling of Victory, it's worth it.
As English is my first language, I thought the speaking templates would be enough to get me the 26 that I needed. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and I only scored a 23. Your lack of getting 26 is not due to your speaking ability. It has been due to your less than optimal strategy. Get rid of the training wheels.
The templates were like, oh my God, why did they create those templates?
Aaron, you are a big helpful for students like us. We need somebody to like stir revolution in our heart inside, give life to our conversation. And this will never happen through other sites like they have exact traditional pattern, the template, first, second, for example. Don't say, for example, the second time, for instance. Really? And like robot, I felt myself without life. I don't have the freedom to speak.
You don't have to worry that much about how can I mention 2 reasons with 2 details or 2 examples. It's too much for me. You help students to increase their fluency.
Instead of following that speaking template or any other speaking template, trust your fluency.
For the students who are taking with you, trust this guy. He's amazing. He will shift or improve your level as soon as possible.
Like just jump my score from 23 to 26, like this. How many hours I took with you? 5. Look at this. 5 hours in 2 weeks. I passed my test.
I was surprised that I passed after 5 sessions together.
I hope you keep inspiring and helping more pharmacists and more other students to achieve their goal and become a professional here in the United States.
If I had just, found you earlier.
For people who's really, they have concern and they need to do it very fast, go to the original, the source of help.
Go to Aaron. He's the guy. He was the guy for me. And hopefully he's the guy for you. And he'll set you straight. He'll tell you what you need to do to get that 26